And it's me again, folks, with a regular weather update this time, the typical evening thing that I do. Alexander Cam on Texas Street. We continue to see a mostly cloudy sky, but the active weather has passed us by at that cam. And look at the temperature, 81 degrees. So that is nice. Going into Gina, still a good bit of cloudiness, a little bit hazy still in that direction where there was some rain in and around that area a while ago, but it was pretty hit and miss over in much of LaSalle. We have Natchitoches. Once again, we're seeing a little sun rays getting through some of the clouds there as Natchitoches is well past the storm system now. Just what we call debris or leftover clouds. Toledo Bend, looks like the water is pretty good right now. Just a little bit of a light chop there. It was pretty turbulent earlier when the storms were moving through with some strong wind. And we see a generally partly to mostly cloudy sky up at Toledo Bend. Going into Leesville, the weather is past you folks. Just some lingering clouds, mostly cloudy sky. Much of this high and mid-level clouds, a little bit of low-level cloudiness also. But we'll go to northeast Beauregard between DeRidder and Dry Creek, where we see a mostly cloudy sky, but you see some filtered sun getting through as well. As you see a little kind of glow in the sky there. Stellies in LeBeau, though, we got thunderstorms in the area there. You can see the rain reducing visibility, especially in the distance in that direction. So that is where the more active weather is at the present time. So we'll check out radar. Here's the convective system, which caused the storms to come through today. You can see that it worked through weakening as it headed generally in a southward direction out of the Arctic, even beyond that earlier in the day. So right now, we're seeing the heavier thunderstorms covering south of Voiles into the northern part of St. Landry Parish. Stellies is about right in this particular area. So you see that storm on the tower, Skycam was right there. And that extends southward and toward the Opelousas with a pretty loud thunderstorm there just south of town. Going to the west, southwest of Eunice, and then we see a band event. There was a severe warning there in the Lake Charles area. That's been some of that is a special weather statement, severe warning back over toward Orange, Texas there. And of course, some little special weather statement for northern St. Landry for the presence of some lightning and wind in that particular direction. So elsewhere, we're seeing things that are pretty well cleared out back up to the northwest, as we saw on the sky cams, just lingering clouds behind the system. And so I think the worst is over, except for you folks just downstream where I was just mentioning. You can see this came well out of the north across Missouri and northeast Oklahoma, coming through, being sustained by the instability. It had a warm, muggy night, and so the juice was there. And we're just lucky we didn't have the dynamic support with the wind field, vertical wind profile and that type thing with the shear, or we would have been a lot worse off than what we got. Down in the southwest Gulf, an area we've been watching lately for tropical development. Not much happening there, but there'll be yet a third attempt coming up, I think, as we head into the weekend. More on that in just a bit. Your futurecast indicating by Thursday morning for your morning commute, there could be some dicey commutes, especially if we see the showers and thunderstorms seen by this model there at that time. And as you know, some of those storms implying these heavy cores could be some pretty heavy stuff, heavy action going on there in the morning. But that would certainly be the vast exception and not the rule, as most folks would see either no rain or a light shower or just maybe a garden variety thunderstorm on their way to work that morning. By the PM commute, Thursday PM, it's all to the south along I-10 and south of there, according to this model. And things up in Sidlaw, not looking too bad. And then going into Friday, rain chances are a good bit less than what we will see on Thursday. Let's check out the tropics. 40% this weekend across the Atlantic Basin, South Atlantic there, into the extreme Eastern Caribbean. Risk level of 20% there over the next 7 days this weekend, carrying us into the far northwestern Caribbean and then into the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Once again, a third attempt at that. So we'll continue to watch what happens. Things are getting a little busy in the tropics. I'm afraid it's going to get a lot busier before things are over with or things settle down. A couple of fronts. So by the way, this is interesting. A couple of fronts now I've put in the forecast here. For one, for Thursday, we'll just kind of drop into the area. This is all part of this northwesterly flow pattern that I've been talking about that's unsettled. If you remember me mentioning that. And another one on Monday with the same type of pattern, a northwesterly flow pattern. Notice that we keep a chance of rain every day. Seasonally, we see about 60% this time of year in late June. Goes down to more like 40% in July, though. So the rain chances that we see there, you might say, oh, that's a lot, 50%, 70% is pretty good. But 30, 40, 50%, that is just pretty typical stuff, folks, as we head into the first part of July for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll be watching the tropics, of course, and see what happens there. And one of the things I've noticed is that as we begin to get fronts into the area, or we have some fronts into the area like we do, and we had a couple of weeks ago, the tropics seem to be active. And so I've noticed that connection or that correlation there. So we'll see what happens over the next 7 days there. Well, here's your 7-day forecast. It's going to stay hot these days. The best day would be Thursday with a high of only averaging 92, and then we climb more with high pressure ridge or high pressure circulation aloft. That's a hot bubble of air this time of year, but with ample humidity and moisture, you get these scattered showers and thunderstorms on a daily basis, and that's in your forecast. All right, Nick Miculus will see you in the morning, and I'll be back with you sometime later in the day, and hope you get some rain. A lot of folks didn't get the rain they wanted or needed for your Wednesday. We got another shot on Thursday. Take care.